Forget rock stars, forget movie stars. They have been eclipsed by a man whose greatest talent is making and spending money.
Mr. Donald J. Trump!
Amidst great hoopla this week, Donald Trump is opening his $1 billion Taj Mahal casino in Atlantic City. Some economists call it a reckless gamble, but the customers we talked to seem to like it just fine.
This is truly the eighth wonder of the world.
We think the Taj Mahal is beyond belief from any standpoint, and we think it's going to be a tremendous success.
Despite the lavish layout, it isn't the world's largest casino these people have come to see. What brought them here is the resort's charismatic and controversial owner, Donald Trump.
People identify with Donald Trump. He's a success story. He's rich, he's brash, he's successful, he owns the world, he's everybody's dream.
That may be overstating it. Trump's sensational divorce announcement brought him pages of unwelcome press. Some reports even speculated he had used his personal trials to generate publicity. Trump strongly denies that.
Unfortunately, the divorce probably created more of a hoopla for a building, and I hate to create that kind of a hoopla from the standpoint, well, it may be good for the building, it's not the greatest thing in the world, and I don't like capitalizing on a divorce because a divorce is a negative thing.
You had to explain to your children, I'm sure that was very difficult.
It's difficult, but we keep the children insulated. We keep them away from television, and they're young enough that, frankly, that works out pretty well, and the children are great.
You love all this media stuff, don't you?
No.
But the press works to your advantage in the sense that you can use the press now because you are famous and you are a marketable commodity.
Well, I don't think I use the press. I think what happens is my buildings use the press. This building is very unique.
Most of what Trump wants to talk about these days is his new hotel. He will not directly address his relationship with Marla Maples, but he is furious with some of the news coverage.
You have a lot of very dishonest reporters, in my opinion, and I mean dishonest. I'm not talking about they're slightly off. I mean they are totally dishonest, where they'll report things knowingly that they're wrong.
How do you think the public perceives you?
I think that the people and I have a pretty good understanding and a pretty good relationship.
Calculations are that the Taj Mahal needs to make over $1 million a day to cover expenses. Trump says no problem. His business sense and ego will make it happen.
Ego's an interesting thing. I mean, I have always been referred to as somebody with a big ego, but I really believe that I've never met a successful person without a very large ego. And if you don't have a big ego, you're not going to be successful. It's as simple as that.
Why couldn't you be humble and do this, build a Taj Mahal?
Because it doesn't work, and it's a different personality. If I were humble, you wouldn't have a building like this. You'd have a plain Jane building that nobody would come and see.
You don't want to talk about Marla Maples. You don't want to talk about the divorce. We understand that. The last question is, you got the camera. The American people, 13 million of them are watching you tonight on Inside Edition.
I thought you had more.
Well, maybe with you we will.
Okay, you
All
will.
right?
You will. I guarantee you will.
A humble statement.
Okay, go ahead.
You want to set the record straight on anything? Shoot.
I'm both a victim and a beneficiary, in all fairness. I mean, I can also say I'm a beneficiary of the press, but I'm a victim to a certain extent. You cannot believe what you read. So when you're out in Minnesota or when you're out in Iowa and you pick up some rag magazine or some rag newspaper and it says all sorts of things that have no bearing or no basis in fact or truth, you just can't believe it. These are very dishonest people.